Good evening, everyone. We'll start shortly. Okay, so welcome once again. And this is our weekly webinar, Market Masterclass with Religare. So in this webinar, we talk about market performance during the week, strong sectors, weak sectors, top performers in the Nifty 50 basket, and losers as well, followed by our view on both Nifty and banking index for the next week, sectors to watch, and stock ideas which one can keep a close eye on for the next week for both long and short side. So देखिए इस वेबिनार में लार्जली जो हम बात करेंगे वो ये करेंगे कि मार्केट की परफॉर्मेंस कैसे रही वो तो जल्दी से हम देख लेंगे और उसके बाद फोकस एरिया हमारा ये होगा कि नेक्स्ट वीक के लिए कैसे प्रिपेयर करना है तो वो हमारा एक मेन एक्शनेबल होगा निफ्टी बैंकिंग इंडेक्स स्टॉक आइडियाज इन तीन एस्पेक्ट्स पे हम बेसिकली फोकस करेंगे and we'll end this presentation with a quick feedback poll and any question related to the markets in general, any particular sector, stock specific queries we avoid so that we can end the webinar on time and we can utilize the next 30-40 minutes to the maximum. So any particular sector which you wish to discuss and know more about, obviously we can do that during the Q&A. So let's start with a disclaimer that it's an informational webinar. It's not a trading or investment recommendation. So before making any decision based on the information shared during the presentation, please check with your financial advisor. Now coming to the market performance. So after the phenomenal surge for the last 3 weeks, this week it turned out to be a bit of a profit taking, especially today on Friday we saw that market drifted over 1%, but largely we were trading in a very tight range. Eventually we have ended with a cut of nearly 1.5% each for both Nifty and Sensex. Sectorally also, like barring FMCG and financials, all the other sectors were slightly on the back foot, with energy taking the hit, then followed by metals, auto, realty, media. Among the top performers from the Nifty 50 basket, we have Hero MotoCo, which made a new record high also and gained over 5%. Then we have recovery in Asian Paints, Bajaj Finserv, which we have discussed during this presentation last week, if I'm not wrong, when we were trading closer to around, let's say, 1450, 1500 zone, somewhere around that. Then we have Titan also, which has seen decent recovery, and then lastly, the SBI Life. On losing side, Coal India, ONGC, Tata Motors, Dr. Reddy's, NTPC. So across sectors, we saw the market witnessing pressure. तो लास्ट वीक देखिए लार्जली तो आप कंसोलिडेशन का टोन था, बट फ्राइडे के दिन जिससे कि आज के सेशन में हमने देखा जिस तरीके से प्रेशर रहा खासतौर से सेलेक्ट इंडेक्स मेजर्स में, जिसकी वजह से मार्केट करीब करीब 1.5% वीक ऑन वीक बेसिस पे कट के साथ बंद हुआ. तो केवल एफएमसीजी और फाइनेंशियल्स ही रहे जो कि पॉजिटिव टोन पे बंद कर पाए सेक्टर्स में, अदरवाइज ज्यादातर सारे सेक्टर्स नेगेटिव थे. टॉप गेनर्स लूजर्स ये आपकी स्क्रीन पर हैं, जहां पे कि हीरो मोटोको ने लीड किया फ्रॉम द गेनिंग साइड एंड कोल इंडिया ने ऑन द लूजिंग साइड. नाउ लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड वेयर आर वी हेडिंग. So this is the daily graph of Nifty 50 index, and we were here last week before the beginning of this week, and this zone we were eyeing that market can eventually test this area, considering the buoyancy across sector, and banking might also participate. So Initial sessions were largely in line, means it was a very tight range for the index. As you can see that we were here almost negligible price action and closed around the highs as well, followed by a dip, then again attempt of recovery. But today this decline has again put the bulls slightly on the back foot. Why? Because this yellow line indicates 20 EMA. तो देखिए जब तक आप प्राइस में करेक्शन नहीं देखते हैं, मींस प्राइस में डिक्लाइन नहीं, आधा परसेंट एक रेंज में आप ट्रेड कर रहे हैं, दैट इज ओके। जब तक आप प्राइस में कट नहीं देखते हैं तब तक मार्केट में कोई ऐसा चैलेंजिंग एनवायरनमेंट नहीं होता है। जब भी हमने देखा है कि एक बड़ा कैंडल इस तरीके जैसे फ्राइडे में बना है, तब या तो गैप, तब मार्केट में थोड़े से प्रॉफिट टेकिंग का बायस बनता है। अदरवाइज अब ग्रेजुअली रिकवरी कंटिन्यू रहती है, तेजी कंटिन्यू रहती है। जैसे लास्ट टाइम यहाँ पे भी ऐसे ही कुछ हुआ था, बट इस टाइम यहाँ पे आपने कट कर दिया, तो अब जो आपका 20 EMA जो कि आप काफी टाइम से होल्ड कर रहे थे, यहाँ इस ब्रेकआउट के बाद आपने उसको पेनिट्रेट कर दिया है। तो अब यही है कि थोड़ा सा बायस डेफिनेटली शिफ्ट हो गया है, जहाँ पे कि हम देख रहे थे बिल्कुल एक स्टेडी रिकवरी, तो अब टोन साइडवेज टू नेगेटिव डेफिनेटली हो गया है, एटलीस्ट शॉर्ट टर्म में। अब ये कब चेंज होगा? जब आप 25,200 250 को रिक्लेम कर लोगे, ऊपर 25,250 के ऊपर चले जाएंगे, देन ओनली वी कैन सी कि once we reclaim this 25,200, then only this buy is going to change. Otherwise the sideways negative tone might continue. Where is the support? So this blue line, as you can see in the screen, last time also we have respected that area. This is 50 EMA, the next crucial support for the markets, so which lies around close to around 24,500 zone. So that's the first support, and in case if it fails to hold, then this base of this consolidation close to around 24,100. So as of now, the bias has turned negative just because that we have slipped below this yellow line, this 20 EMA. तो अब जो सपोर्ट है आपको ये ब्लू लाइन है, विच इज 24,500 का, और उसके बाद फिर 24,150 का, क्योंकि ये येलो लाइन इंपॉर्टेंट था जिसको होल्ड करना चाहिए था, बट आज नहीं किया हमने। और यूएस मार्केट में भी प्रॉफिट टेकिंग चल रहा है, इसके बारे में हम बात करेंगे अभी। सो in absence of any major event in the domestic front, we largely see or take clues from the global market, especially the US. And off late we have started seeing some correction in the US market, which has till yesterday it was okay for us, means we were not reacting much to the decline in the US market. But today, ahead of this important US data, job data, the market has reacted sharply. So it's somehow it indicates that it's a kind of a cautious approach that participants are taking, considering that in case if the data, further deteriorates. So though it's a good news in any case, at least for the short term means, because in case if the data deteriorates, job data, obviously the Fed may take strong stance by providing a cut of nearly 50 basis points. So as of now, 25 basis point is what markets are discounting, that they'll go ahead with this cut. But in case if this job data deteriorates further, they might take this action. So negative is not negative as such for us now, but the way markets have reacted, we should respect price. तो देखिए प्राइस जो कह रहा है यूएस मार्केट का अभी थोड़ा सा प्रॉफिट टेकिंग का है, और अभी उन्हीं के क्लूज को ही फॉलो करने वाले हैं। हमारे पास कोई ऐसा इंपॉर्टेंट इवेंट है नहीं, कोई डेटा है नहीं। तो जिस तरीके से यूएस मार्केट्स पैन आउट होंगी तो उनको ही आप फोकस करिए कि किस तरीके से वहां से अपडेट आ रहे हैं, किस तरीके से क्लोज हो रही है वहां की मार्केट। खासतौर से आज का जो इवनिंग में जॉब डेटा आएगा उसके बाद किस तरीके से यूएस मार्केट का रिएक्शन है, वही मंडे को आपको देखने को मिलेगा। बट लार्जली आप तैयार रहिए कि बायस, क्योंकि हमने 20 EMA को स्लिप किया है तो नेगेटिव साइड पे हो सकता है, और जब तक कि 25,200 को हम रिक्लेम नहीं कर लेते तब तक बायस को नेगेटिव साइड पे रखना है। सो आई होप इट इज क्लियर व्हेन इट कम्स टू निफ्टी। नाउ let's talk about banking index. So till last week, here also we were saying that, though we are not participating, at least we are not declining. So it's a good news. Today it slipped sharply, especially the PSU ones. Private, anyways, we had just had, ICICI, which was participating. But PSUs, they were like, completely down and out. So in case if, this profit taking corrects further, not only the PSU bank, but the entire PSU basket looks, weakest in case if this decline continues. PSU is something that one should avoid, and in case if you have any position, it's time to take a call. In case if I'm not maintaining stop losses, reduce your positions. That's the only way to look at it. Now coming to the banking, like last time we have respected, not perfectly, but yeah, largely this 100 EMA. And with this kind of sharp cut, decisive candle, which has engulfed the gain of last almost nearly 10-15 sessions, I feel that we might not respect this level. So maybe closer to around 49,700. This base is going to be the major area, which also coincides with closely with this trendline support. So 49,700 is something that one should maintain as the next major support for banking, and then obviously the 200 EMA, which is around 48,600. So banking is anyways weak comparatively. We were not seeing any participation. So with the dip in the ICICI, means the only private bank which was holding the ground, and excess is also ended the recent consolidation. So all these factors put together is pointing towards further decline. Upside, this base means this recent top around 51,500, 700. That will be the major hurdle to cross. So once we cross this, obviously, then we can inch toward the upper band of this trend line also. But that seems unlikely the way the private banking and PSUs are, closing or maintaining their tone. So this is about both the indices. Tone looks negative. Banking is comparatively weaker. There's no doubt about it. Now, talking about stocks. So in line with the view that PSUs are more weaker. So the first name that one can maintain on the list for short position is Canara Bank, which is Ken Bank is symbol. And as you can see, that's been almost nearly 8-9 months that we were seeing the stock trading in a consolidation range. This broadly was the range 100 to 125, 130. Though we've reacted sharply during the election time also, but somehow we are managing this range. Today, with sharp uptick in volumes and price, we've penetrated. We have this lower band, and also the long-term average. This red line is the Lakshman Rekha. So दोनों ही चीजें बेसिकली इसके लिए खराब हो गई. एक कंसोलिडेशन जो एंड हो रहा था वो भी एंड हुआ नेगेटिव साइड पे. यहाँ पे प्राइस का डिप, वॉल्यूम बढ़ गए, इट मींस सेलर्स एग्रेसिव थे और लॉन्ग टर्म एवरेज के नीचे भी स्लिप हो गया. तो यहाँ पे आने वाले वीक में प्रेशर बढ़ते हुए देख सकते हैं. सो कैनरा बैंक कुड बी वन ऑफ द कैंडिडेट विच यू कैन कीप ऑन योर रडार और शॉर्टिंग ट्रेड्स इन द कमिंग वीक. Next on the list, GNFC. So if you scan the FNA universe today, even after this cut, you will not find much stock beyond the PSUs, which are deteriorating the overall chart structure or patterns. So similarly, GSFC is one candidate which has been hovering in a very broader range, and now this range is getting narrower with every passing week. And we are closer to the support as well. So in case if there'll be any decline in the market, one should see that as a buying opportunity or accumulation opportunity. The good part is that we are closer to the base, so we are not seeing any major move on the higher side. So the risk reward shouldn't be a concern as long as we are accumulating the stock gradually with this 62025 being the strong support zone. This can be the one candidate which one can look to accumulate in the coming week. And lastly on the list, MFSL. So, despite the negativity, financials, they were, doing comparatively well. The BSFI space and MFSL has made a new record high and see the kind of volumes to register a new record high. So yes, with pressure in the market, we may see further consolidation, though we have already seen a marginal dip before this up move. So again, it might consolidate a bit, but accumulation is something that one can definitely plan. Considering that it has reclaimed the record highs after long consolidation and the volumes are also supportive. So just to sum it up, indices view negative. Now 24,500 for Nifty. This blue line is critical. Earlier we were talking about 25,000 being the support, 24,800, 850. If you'll see the last week's video, we have not completely negated this trend, but yes, the positivity which we are seeing, in every dip we used to see buying, that might not be the case. So one needs to be cautious and maintain the lower levels also in mind when you're planning any trade. So 24,500 for the Nifty, around 49,700 for the banking index, this previous swing low, and Canara Bank as shorting candidate, which one can consider, and GNFC and MFSL for it. So yeah, this is all from the presentation part, and now we'll have a quick feedback poll. So please fill in your feedback, and then you can start using, start posting your question using that Q&A button in front of your screen. Please quickly fill this feedback, and then you can post your questions related to any particular sector you wish to know, any theme, and in case if you're joining late also, we can discuss about markets in general as well. All right, so we're almost done. Okay, so let's start with Q&A now. So there's a Q&A button in front of your screen which you can use. Q&A का बटन है आपकी स्क्रीन के पास, उसको आप प्रेस करके उसमें अपना सवाल लिखकर पूछ सकते हैं. So the first question is on pharma sector. So let's see where pharma is heading. So pharma sector, it's still positive, comparatively. On a week-on-week basis also, it's hardly 0.5% down, and it's a normal correction during an uptrend. So, and if you'll see the stocks also, you won't find much losers, in today's market as well. So, stay stock specific with bias on positive side in pharma is something that we recommend. And Deviz, Sun Pharma, Lupin, Oro Pharma, Glenmark, these are the top performing names within the pharma space which one can look at. So rest of the counters, they may continue to witness volatile swings. Granule we used to recommend at much lower level, recommend in the sense we have discussed during the presentation, but now it looks slightly overstretched to us. So avoid granules for a time being now. Okay, next we have Mr. Kumar on metal sector and oil and gas. So let's see. Metals is still not seeing any sign of recovery or damage. So it's again a consolidation. And what's the indications are in the favor that in case if nothing turns up negative for the US market or Chinese market in near future, again we might see a strong recovery. But within this space, we are seeing mixed trend. Means stock like JSW Steel, Vedanta, Jindal Steel. They are the top names basically which are still performing well. Hindalco. At the on the other hand, we have stock like Hind Copper, Tata Steel, National Aluminium, which are not participating and seeing selling pressure on every rise. So one should be selective in metal space is something that we recommend. Yes, comparatively, metal is also looking okay to us. And for the sector, we feel that 9,000 zone for the Nifty Metal Index is the strong support zone. And for oil and gas, okay, so yes, it's a sharp cut for oil and gas, and considering today's fall around 2% for the index, so this may witness further correction or consolidation. So 12,900 for the index is the key area. In case if it fails to hold this zone, then around 400 500 points. So that may result in another 5 to 8% kind of a cut in oil and gas stocks. So be prepared for this is what the indications are. And OMCs, they are better placed. Why? Because crude is currently hovering around 72 73 Brent, and WTI around below 70 mark. So this is definitely positive for the OMCs. And but the rest of the pack, since we are seeing largely in aligned to the market direction, so and they, in fact, the OMCs were also down today, despite the this positivity from the crude front. Why? Because they have already done enough on the positive side. So obviously there's some consolidation and profit taking cannot be ruled out. So oil and gas is something that one should avoid if you're planning any fresh trade. Accumulation means for buying and holding. OMCs are better candidates. Okay. Okay, Mr. Thakkar has a question on paint stocks. So in line with the OMCs, so sectors which are anywhere related to crude, just like paint, tires, they were all getting decent traction. So Asian Paints, Berger Paint were among the two top names, and we have seen a strong recovery in Asian Paints from the recent lows, and still the tone looks positive. In fact, in today's market, when everything looks southward, the Asian Paint and Berger Paint was trading with a positive bias. But it's not a very direct correlation that on every downtick of crude we'll see an uptick in paint stocks. We may see some profit taking in paint stocks also after the recent surge, despite crude sustaining at the lower levels. Why? Because beyond a point, this exact correlation doesn't work. So obviously the other factor, in case if markets seeing profit taking, clients wants to book some profit in their existing positions, obviously they'll choose the sector or stocks wherein they are getting profits. So for that reason, we may see some profit taking, but otherwise, paint stocks overall looks strong. Both Burgeon and Asian should be the preferred candidates in case somebody is looking for long trades. Okay. Okay. Next, we have IT sector. Okay, so paint we have already discussed. So paint is something that we have already discussed. Let's see IT. IT comparatively we are doing well comparative to the US markets because uh, we have this tech heavy index called Nasdaq Composite in US, and which is witnessing sharp decline due to uh, you know sharp cut in the chip stocks, uh, especially Nvidia. So now we feel that in case if there'll be any further correction in the US market on especially the tech stock, we may see some profit taking in our markets also. But I doubt that we're going to, uh, you know, witness similar kind of a decline what we are seeing in the US market, US tech stocks, because both are different, companies. One is, you know, a manufacturer, a hardware component manufacturer, and we are service providers. And plus, our scenario is different here. In case if there'll be softening by the US Fed, that would improve demand for our markets, for our ID companies. So I'm not seeing any major correction. And technically also, what the IT index is down just a percent after a very strong move. So it's a normal, healthy, correction for IT so far. So it might consolidate in a range. So selectively, one can continue to look at buying IT majors, specifically like HCL Tech, TCS, Infosys, uh, in case if there'll be any further dip in days to come. Okay. What to avoid? So PSUs for sure. Uh, PSUs across the board. It's not PSU banks alone. The entire PSU basket is something that one should avoid in broader markets also. Though the both mid cap and small cap index is trading at the record highs, uh, it's very selective buying which is holding the indices because the market breadth is not that strong even during the up days. So both in terms of existing position and if you're planning any trade, PSUs is something that you should definitely avoid. Okay, so yes, with this we have answered largely. There were certain stock specific queries, so please excuse on that, and the rest we have answered. So thank you everyone. Next week, same time, same place, we'll connect again. So take care. Till then, thank you.